Comedy Factory podcast listeners. Your host, Jane Testar here. Well, this is the week. Recreational cannabis, aka marijuana, aka pot, aka weed, aka the ganj, becomes legal in Canada on October 17th. But that doesn't mean you'll be able to get your hands on some right away. Turns out, no one is prepared. Some police forces don't have enough equipment to test for impaired driving, stores and dispensaries have empty shelves or limited stock, and retailers are totally sold out of Canadian flags with pot leaves. Can that be a thing that goes away now that it's legal? People didn't walk around during Prohibition wearing shirts with wine bottles on them. Can we do away with decorative marijuana items and hideous clothing? Instead, they can just be what they were clearly originally made for, to be indicators of poor potential mates. Basically, even though pot is legal, it'll be a while before the cannabis industry in Canada is truly up and running. It's like the country is throwing a dinner party and the doorbell rings, but the country is still frantically vacuuming wearing nothing but pantyhose. We just need 5 more minutes. Speaking of running out of time, the UN released a pretty scary environmental report last week, and well, it's not good news if we don't change our carbon-sucking ways fast. It's a little overwhelming, but we have Because News, CBC's news quiz show, to lay it all out for us. This episode's panel includes comedians Alice Moran, Chris Siddiqui, CBC personality Tom Howell, and host Gavin Crawford. Distract us from our doom.
If we do manage to hold it there, under that half a degree, what nice things does the report say that we might get to keep?
Animals.
I will give you a point for that. Half the habitat for insects and plants.
The year 2041.
Also not that specific. The West Antarctic ice sheet was another one we might get to keep.
Thank God, I was afraid about losing that thing.
Yeah, the nicest of the ice sheets.
Yeah.
I read that it's tricky to know what bits are going to sink because the whole world is sort of squidgy, and if you lift all the ice off, then all the things that look solid, like countries and continents, start bouncing.
Well, Tom, the world is flat, so, I mean, as we all know, the ice sheets will just fall off the edge into the giant mouth of the giant that holds us all above his mouth.
Ah, that's interesting.
We will also, apparently, if we can keep it under 0.5 degrees, get to keep most of the coral reefs. Which would be good. If, however, we don't manage to reach that target and we rise by the extra half degree, what percentage of the coral reefs do they say will be gone?
That's just by an extra half.
Yes.
To 2.
I think it's 100%. Because isn't the Great Barrier Reef almost entirely destroyed at this point?
I just heard it's actually not that bad.
Well, Tom is sort of right. It's not that bad. It is not 100%. It's 99%.
Oh, thank God. So I'll have 1% of that beautiful thing left.
It's a pretty crowded snorkeling spot.
I'm sort of a coral reef is half full kind of person. You know?
You can always count on America to lead the fight in climate change. Donald Trump was asked about the dire warning. Does anyone know what his response was to the report?
I do. He said, a lot of reports out there. Some are good, some are bad. I'd have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Which he isn't planning to do, so problem solved.
He said there's a lot of fine people on both sides of climate change. The climate's good, but we're also good.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a sun and a moon. I think there's a moon. I don't look out the window.
This is what Trump actually said about the UN report.
It was given to me, and I want to look at who drew it, which group drew it, because I can give you reports that are fabulous, and I can give you reports that aren't so good.
I'm sorry. Who drew it? As in, like, he's going to get a report where someone's drawn pictures for him so he can understand
That's what they're doing now. Haven't you read the thing? They don't give him actual reports anymore. There's all these people running around pulling things off his desk and putting them on. Like, I'm sure it is a drawing that someone just did that was like, no, bad.
Just like a tree with a sad face on it?
Yeah.
It says 2040.
Fans of deceased singer Amy Winehouse are not too pleased about the recent announcement of a hologram tour of the artist and her music. Come on, people. The woman died tragically only 7 years ago. They at least gave Tupac 16 years before hologramming him. People aren't ready to see Winehouse's computerized depiction puppeted around a stage. I mean, I'm still not used to the new guy who voices Kermit the Frog. Still, I'm like, new frog, who did? Well, it's no secret that Canada has a reputation for being really nice and friendly. But comedian Don Kelly believes there's one region in Canada that is the friendliest, and he wants in. Prepare to be either very flattered or, more likely, very left out. Take it away, Don.
Forgive me if I get controversial, but I'm just going to say it. Maritimers are the friendliest people in the world. You know, I was just out that way, and man, hop in a cab, and there's a good chance by the end of the drive, you'll be invited over for dinner that same evening. I don't know why exactly they're so welcoming, but maybe it's because they've been welcoming newcomers for longer than anyone else. I mean, think about it. First Nations in what's now the Maritimes have been saying hello to strangers for more than 600 years. That means they've been working at reconciliation longer than anyone. And that's reconciliation between First Nations and new arrivals, and between traditional ways and new ways. So, let me explain. I was just in one of my favorite provinces. I don't want to come off biased, so let's just say the initials are PEI. There's a Mi'kmaq First Nation there, Lennox Island, that runs a lobster fishery. It's the only 100% First Nations-owned lobster processing plant in Canada. I even asked one guy how long they've been operating the fishery, and he said, about 6,000 years. Right, fair point. But now, it's a big business. I mean, everyone loves lobster, right? Although it does beg the question, who was the first guy to catch a lobster, look at this weird alien thing and say, hey, now this looks tasty? Anyway, along with the commercial fishery, they also run a community fishery. If you live on the res, you get a batch of lobster every few weeks, free. I love that. It's that traditional value of sharing the harvest, providing for the elders, the families, the children. It's just like the old days, but now they're using modern boats and modern equipment. And imagine, free lobster for life. Wow. Can I get adopted into that First Nation? That idea of sharing with the community stuck with me. And it was with me when I dropped in at St. Mary's First Nations, just down the road. It's right next to Fredericton. St. Mary's is sharing too, with everybody. St. Mary's is a Maliseet band, and they built up their economy to the point where they now own an entire shopping center, including a supermarket. They're feeding their own people and employing their own people, as well as the people of Fredericton. So they're building an economy and a community. Of course, it doesn't hurt that their supermarket makes the best fried chicken in the region. It really is amazing what brings us together. That is reconciliation in action. We share so much. I mean, it's good to know that people from all cultures and all walks of life will still push the 9 items or less rule in the express line. But that spirit of welcoming and sharing and traditional values in new ways made me feel good, hopeful even. In fact, when I had to leave the region, I felt like I took a little piece of it with me. I think it was a wing. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. For CBC Radio, I'm Don Kelly. Thank you, miigwech.
Well, here's some fallout no one thought about in the lead up to cannabis legalization. Police canine officers, cop dogs, are having to be retrained to not freak out when they find pot on a person or their belongings, because it's not a big deal anymore. So they're literally trying to teach dogs new tricks. As a result, unemployment offices are stocking up on milk bones and sausages to prepare for the influx of German shepherds, along with the travel agents, bank tellers, and print journalists. Well, there was another royal wedding this past weekend. Princess Eugenie, daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, wed longtime partner Jack Brooksbank. Though it was a lovely star-studded affair, it just didn't have the same hullabaloo of Harry and Meghan's nuptials in May. In fact, a reported 65% fewer middle-aged women woke up at 4 a.m. to watch the ceremony. Also, Prince Harry and new wife Meghan announced they are expecting their first child. And of course, when this kind of fanfare and attention around the royal family happens, it inevitably gets some people asking, do we need the royals at all? Or for one thing, we wouldn't have that amazing Netflix show without them. What am I supposed to watch? Bloodline? No, seriously, tell me what to watch on Netflix. I am paralyzed by choice. Anywho, in this clip of the debaters, comedians Aisha Brown and Scott Vrooman duke and duchess it out over whether we need the nobles with host Steve Patterson.
I have to agree with you. Yeah, the monarchy has kind of a violent past. And yes, okay, you're right, what you said earlier about the fact that they probably would kill a peasant for not wishing their horse happy birthday. But I do think that it's unfair to, mention that they're murderers and not say anything about how much they love horses. That's reverse elitism, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
It's good. It's a good point, Aisha.
They do. They love horses. Just ask Catherine the Great and her son, the Centaur. Come on, who cares about Meghan Markle? A biracial princess doesn't exactly make up for centuries of colonial atrocities. Sorry about the concentration camps, Kenya, but are any of you fans of the mediocre legal drama Suits? Anyone? No?
Singer Ariana Grande and comedian Pete Davidson have announced their split after a whirlwind 5-month relationship and recent engagement. And your friend Jen owes you $20. Of course, you can't talk about being in October without talking about the official start of cold and flu season. Though modern medicine has come a long way, we no longer think having a fever means a demon has inhabited our brain. But for some reason, people still have some dumb ideas about what causes or cures colds. So CBC went out to find out how Canadians tackle the common cold. And what exactly does an onion in your sock supposed to accomplish?
What kind of things have you guys tried to get over a cold? Like what kind of remedies or tricks?
Neocitrin. I kind of swear by Neocitrin because it kind of makes you drowsy, so that then you sleep better so you can sleep it off.
Neocitrin, that's a major move. I think also supplement, like vitamin C supplement. That's my number one move. Vitamin D supplement. And I don't get sick.
Actually, my mom told me to always have oranges because the vitamin C apparently helps you.
Oh, any hot soup is good, but chicken soup is the best.
Are you someone who makes it from scratch, or do you cheat a bit?
No, I make it from scratch.
That sounds like it's really good.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get the cold, the flu? Try anything out?
My wife takes care of me.
How do you get a cold?
Touch things.
You touch things?
Or kiss people. Like the myth, I guess, is you don't dress up enough, or you don't dress for the weather. Montreal cares a lot about fashion. No one covers up.
That's so true. That's so true.
That affects our health. I mean, I should be wearing a proper jacket today. I chose not to because I'm like, this cardigan is cute.
Do you guys get flu shots?
No. I mean, probably when I was a kid. I haven't in a long time.
Do you get a flu shot?
No, I haven't. No, I don't take it.
Why not?
Why not? Because I don't believe in it.
Really?
It works for me.
Is there anything particularly gross or weird you've tried to get over a cold or over a flu, or something that just didn't work?
The nose thing, like you pour water down,
shoot it up your nose, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. I could never get the water on the other nostril, like out. So I was like, well.
Vicks, I put Vicks all over my body 24 hours a day.
Maybe about a bottle a day.
Yeah.
Do you find it works?
No.
But you keep doing it?
Yeah, I mean, nothing works, but you get desperate, right? So you try anything.
California law enforcement was shocked when they responded to a call about a pig on the loose in San Bernardino County. Police lured the pig, about the size of a mini horse, back into containment using Doritos. The most shocking of all, the whole event didn't happen in Florida. Well, that's all we have for you this week. Comments, questions, angry letters about me dissing your pot leaf Hawaiian shirt? Send it all to comedyfactory@cbc.ca. Lastly, an 8-year-old girl recently pulled a 3-foot, 5th century Viking sword out of a lake while vacationing with her parents in Sweden. The girl promises to rule as queen with an iron fist and bring swift vengeance upon her enemies, Aiden R. and Sophie C. Testar out.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.
it.